Simple Hobby Homesteading. I am Jenna, and I am behind a giant box. This is something, I don't know if you can see any clues on the box, but this is something that I am super excited about, and I kind of hinted my husband had gotten me something as a surprise, an early Christmas present, anniversary present, birthday present. I can't remember what he called it, maybe all three. Probably all three. But I was asking if you guys had any guesses of what you thought it was, and if anybody guessed, okay, what were some of the guesses? There was a really funny one. It was like was it a platypus? Or, no, an iguana. I think Lisa said it was either a baby iguana or an iguana. I love that, but no, not that. Most of you guessed correctly when you guessed an embroidery machine. Yes, Kevin got me an embroidery machine, the one that I was looking at. I am going to move this aside so I don't have to talk over the box. But if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jenna Conway. We live here in southern Indiana on a little hobby farm, and I'm always finding new things to do, new hobbies to start, new adventures to begin. And this is one that I've dabbled in for a little bit, and I'm excited to now move forward with it. So I am tired of talking behind a box, so we are going to unbox this together. But hold on one second, let me move it aside and get the things I need to open the box. Alrighty, here we go. So, like I said, this is a PE900, a Brother PE900 embroidery machine. And if you hear dogs in the background, there are dogs in the background. When I start talking, Nikki thinks I'm talking to somebody, Echo thinks I'm talking to somebody, Athena thinks I'm talking to somebody, and they want to know who I'm talking to, so they come in and they sniff the tripod. Anyways, if you hear dogs, sorry. I live with dogs. I love dogs. Anyways, the Brother PE900. It's a very simple embroidery machine, and I'll be straight up honest with you, as of September 2024, which we're in right now, it was on sale for $899. So not a crazy expensive one as far as embroidery machines go. I've been working with one at the library that is $10,000, but it does more than I will ever need. This, I think, is going to do what I needed to do, and what I needed to do is simple, making burp cloths for my friends at church and friends outside of church who have babies. Just little embroidered burp cloths with the baby's name and a little picture. I love giving 3 burp cloths to a friend when they have a baby, and I've been going to the library. First I ordered them from a company which was great, loved it, but then I got cheap. And I said, I bet I could do this. Found out that the library had an embroidery machine that I could use anytime I wanted, pretty much. Well, not anytime, not on Fridays. I don't think on the weekends. Anyways, so I went there and did a bunch and loved it and found this is amazing. Do you hear the dogs wrestling? Oh my gosh. And so I, kind of chewed on it for a little bit as far as if I wanted to buy one, if I wanted to make that investment, and put it on my I Love Jenna list that my husband often orders things off of, and decided that yes, I definitely want one. And so I told my husband, next time you order something, if you're thinking of something for Christmas or birthday or anniversary, I kind of do want it. And so he ordered it. And it arrived, and I was so excited. He told me it was coming just because he wanted to make sure it didn't stay out in the rain or anything. And so I brought it in, and then I've just been waiting to do a video. We had to hold off on things a little bit because my son came home from college because of the hurricane. He's down in Florida. And so he came home from college, and we enjoyed that time with him. So we're going to unbox this. From what I can see from other unboxings that I looked at online, I think it might be ready to go straight out of the box, like needle in and ready to go. Let's see if that's the case. So we are going to, I haven't quite thought about how I'm going to get it out of the box up here on the middle island, but we'll just figure it out. It's not super heavy, but I might need to bring the box down and then bring it up here on the middle island. So let's see here. Alright, so we've got instructions. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of things in here. We've got an instruction book. This is a thick set of books. Love it. We will definitely be getting into those and using those. Looks like this is a cover for the machine. That's beautiful. So we have our first embroidery hoop. It came with, I think, 1 embroidery hoop, and I think this is it. And I want to say it was a 5x7 embroidery hoop. I'm almost sure it was. I'm just looking here to see if it has dimensions on the embroidery hoop. But I want to say it was a 5x7. Oh, there's a grid that it came with as well. And let's see if there's There's no, yeah, I want to say it was a 5x7 though. We'll see once we get into it. So I'm going to put this back in the bag. So we've got an embroidery hoop that it comes with, and this is actually quite a large embroidery hoop. This is, I think, even bigger than the one I was using at the library. I think at the library I was using a 4x6, which worked absolutely fine. I don't think I'll ever embroider anything this big, but maybe on like a sweatshirt or t-shirt or something. So we have some, it looks like embroidery thread. Yep, a nice white spool of embroidery thread. We've got a power cord. I love it. And I think that's almost it for this top foamy layer. We have something in here. I'm going to move this over just slightly. We have a little pocket of, okay, so little odds and ends. We have cute little scissors. Those are nice. We have, it says using pre-wound bobbins. So I did order some pre-wound bobbins, and we're going to see if those work. But this is something, some kind of little thing, little round thing that I bet you use for winding bobbins. So we'll come back to that. I don't know what that is. I don't recognize that from the library embroidery machine. Now, the embroidery machine I was using at the library was a very expensive Bernina, like top of the line. And I really don't need that for making burp cloths. So we got a couple extra needles, which is great. We got something. I think this goes on to hold the spool of threads on, maybe. We'll see. And then just odds and ends, tools. This goes on spools of thread to keep them from unwinding. We've got some unwound bobbins. Got a seam ripper, a little screwdriver, a little brush, cleaning brush, another screwdriver. So, okay, this is a beautiful little odds and ends packet of stuff. And I'm going to put this all back in so I don't lose it. Nice little scissors. All right, beautiful. We're going to set that aside. So, okay, here's the actual machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the box on the floor and lift the machine up onto the counter here, and then we'll lower the camera a bit so you can see it. So let's get this down safely. Let's see here. Get the handles. Okay, that's not that bad. All right, so let's get this up on the counter. All right, here is the main machine, of course. And we've got some different tape, different places. Like, oh, where's the opening to the plastic? All right. And I'm going to take my time. Yeah, it literally does have the needle in there. That is crazy. So as you can see, that needle, I'm going to try to get that out. That needle is in there and I think ready to go. So we're going to get the tape off here. That's just crazy. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start getting the tape off. We got 1, 2, 3. Now this opens. This is some sort of little instructions. Start your creative journey. And I wonder if this is a it's ready to go kind of thing. Oh, it's just talking about free patterns. Yeah, it's got a QRC code to get the software downloaded and whatnot. So that's awesome. And we've got this. It's a nice solid machine. Not super heavy, but you can tell it's solid. It's got a beautiful display here on the front. I'm loving that. This opens. I wonder what this opens for. Why does this open? Ooh, there's tape. In the Bernina machine, nothing opened, so I'm just curious what's in here. Let's look together. All right, in here. Oh, that's where, yeah, I guess that's where the spool of thread goes. So in the Bernina machine, the thread was just up here. So in here, this is where you wind the bobbins. This is where and so this is, like that little piece I said holds the spool of thread on. That was probably just an extra. So I like that it's got the directions. You put the spool of thread here, 1 down here, 2 up here, down here, 3 threads down here, 4 comes up here, catches the hook, 5 down here and into the needle. So it tells you exactly how to go through. So there's 7. Where's number 6? 7. Okay, there's more than what would be on the Bernina because you go into the thing. So 5. Okay, 6 is through the needle. They've got 6 on the actual needle down here. And then it says 7 up through here for some reason. And then 8 over to here. And then 9 up to this lever. So this lever pushes this down for some reason. I don't know what that does. That's new. The Bernina didn't have that. So maybe I don't need to use that. Maybe I do. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what all that does. We're going to read some instructions. All right. So, okay, that's very cool. I love that. That's that. We got the arm, the embroidery arm that goes on. I'm not going to put this on yet because a lot of times the machine wants you to turn it on and calibrate before you put the embroidery arm on. I think it's called an embroidery arm. I thought this would be just a, you know, put it on and go, and it might still be. Let's read the instructions on how to use it like the first time maybe. I don't know. We're going to see how easy it is to thread. I'm curious how easy it is to thread. So, yeah. So this just fits on. If people don't know, this just fits on. And it looks like it's going to fit right in just like this. Yep, there was a click. But how do I get it back out? I clicked it in. How do I get it back out? I wonder if... Is there something I push? Is there something... Oh, there's a handle underneath here that I pull and comes back out. Okay, neat. All right, so that's it. That is all that's in here. So it comes with just basics, but really this is everything I need to do my projects 100%. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off because I don't need that until I actually embroider. I'm going to read the little instruction book for a second, then I'll come back and we're going to thread this machine for the first time. We're going to see how it does and I'm going to try something, try to embroider something, just see what happens and just have some fun with it. So we're going to see how like actually user ready, user friendly this is right out of the box. So let me just read the instructions, or do you want, you know what? You can fast forward if you want. Let's read the instructions together just for a hot second because I want you guys to see exactly like how fast it is coming straight out of the box with just limited knowledge of embroidery machines. Like if I embroidered a lot or something like that, or had worked with, you know, home machines a little bit more, I'm sure I would be able to do this pretty quick because they're all pretty standard, but quick reference guide might be good. Embroidery design, operation manual, and then in Spanish, in French. Okay, so some of these books are not needed. That's Spanish, that's French. So the actual owner's manual is not super thick. We're looking at, which is nice, we're looking at 60 pages, not too overwhelming. And we have a quick reference guide, which I'm guess is for like codes. Like if you get a code or something. And even this is a lot of Spanish. Where is my English? Oh, each one is in, it's got each language. Okay, so when you first turn on the machine, the following message about a wireless LAN connection appears. To set up a connection, touch OK and continue with step 4. So I don't probably want to set up a connection right away. I will in a bit, but it's got LAN. And I'm going to do the not now. Set up the wireless LAN, not now. I'm going to do that. All right, so let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Let's go through some things. And I turned it on, and I kind of messed up. I turned it on without the camera on because I was kind of readjusting the camera to get a good shot for you guys. And I turned it on, and then I accidentally touched this screen, and it went right to is English your language, and it went right to the LAN setting, and asked if I wanted to set up the LAN, and I said no, and then I realized I had forgotten to turn on the camera for recording. So I turned it back on, so now we are at, it's kind of ready to start embroidering, but we need to wind the bobbin. We have no wound bobbins, so we need to wind the bobbin. And I went ahead and got a good close-up shot here so that you can see how we wind the bobbin. So the first thing we do, according to the instructions of winding the bobbin, is we open up the top. I did that. So we are going to put the bobbin, where's here? We're going to put the bobbin onto this. Now there's a certain way that we do it, and so I want to make sure I do it rightly. All right, so I'm going to show you the little notch on this. It's kind of hard to see, but there's that circle there, and then there's a little square notch. Let me see if I can get it closer so you can see. Where my fingernail is, there's that little square notch right there. And this is the spring. This little metal piece right here is the spring. So I want to line up that little notch on the spring. Ooh, there you can see the notch really well. So I want to line that up with the spring. Let me get on top of it so you can see it. And I can see it as well. And we're going to push it on. And you can see that little spring goes into that notch beautifully. And that's what holds this bobbin in so that it doesn't spin unnecessarily. So now we're going to go ahead and show you how we do the thread. So we want to watch and make sure that we don't put the part where it has the little cutout notch that holds the thread. We don't want that side going this way because we want the thread to come off smoothly. So we're going to put this on like this, put this on like this, and that's what it says to do. And then we are going to follow the instructions. We're going to go and we're going to follow this dotted line for the instructions of the one. We're going to go down the dotted. We're going to go up here. And then we're going to go over to here. And then we're going to go down here around this little guy. Straight over to here. Around the back. We're going to have it in there like that. I just pushed it in, and we're just going to wind. We're going to wind several times. There we go, we're winding. Okay, so we wound and wound and wound, which looks good. I'm going to cut off the end. There's probably an easier way to do that. Maybe there's something I should have done. Oh, yeah, it says there's a little cutting tool somewhere here, but I didn't use that. All right, so now what I'm supposed to be able to do is simply push this button, and it's lighting up orange and not red. Let's see, can you see? Am I in the way? Oh, you can't see because of the machine. So you can see this button is orange and not red, which is a good sign. Before it was, it looked red at first until I set up the machine. So I'm going to just push this. Ooh, and it's winding beautifully. And so when it slows down, I'm supposed to hit the button again. When it starts slowing down, and it's doing a really good job of evenly winding the bobbin up and down, so I get a full bobbin wind. Oh, that's beautiful. That's seamless. Working bobbin thread, or winding bobbin thread, it says on the little screen here. Looking good. Okay, so it's starting to stop. There we go, it stopped. So I'm going to hit stop. Now I will say, I went through a little bit of an issue at the beginning. When you first get your machine, you have to push, before you wind a bobbin, you have to push or touch this screen, this touch screen. You have to touch that touch screen, pick your language, and either set up your LAN connection or hit not now to do it later. It makes you do that before you ever are able to wind a bobbin. What will happen until you do that screen thing is this button will be red over here and not orange. So you have to do that setup on the screen before you wind the bobbin. Now, to put the bobbin in our lovely little bobbin case, I need to install the bobbin. So to install the bobbin, I'm going to my little book. So I turn on the machine. I need to raise the needle, and to raise the needle, I'm going to push this button once or twice. Oh, you can't see. I would push this button once or twice to raise the needle, but I don't need to because my needle's already raised. I'm going to cut this bobbin out of here in just a second. But my needle's already raised. When the bobbin winding becomes slow, which it did, I'm going to press the start-stop button, which I did, and I stopped it. So I get to cut the thread and then slide. So I'm going to cut the thread. Cut. I'm going to slide the bobbin winder shaft to the left until it snaps out of place. It's out of place. And then I'm going to remove the bobbin. Oh, that's a good looking bobbin. So as you can see, that's a nice tightly, that's a nice tightly wound bobbin. And I'm looking at the size of this, and I think this is the size that I bought from Amazon, so that's good. So, installing the bobbin. Install the bobbin wound with thread. You can begin embroidering immediately without pulling up the bobbin thread by simply inserting the bobbin in the bobbin case and guiding the thread through the slit in the needle plate cover. So, turn on the machine. Press the needle position to get it up. I did. Okay, the screen changes. Oh, I'm going to press this just to make sure that it... There we go. It's up. Alright, so I'm going to press this button over here. Hold on. I'm going to press, it wants me to press this button right here. And the screen changes to that, and all the buttons are locked so that the needle can't come down on me is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to raise the presser foot. I'm going to raise the presser foot lever, and that lever I think is back. Okay, so let's go back over here. We're going to do some fun camera work, guys. The presser foot lever is back here, I believe. Yep. Presser came up. It's back in the back of the machine. I raised up the presser foot. Slide the bobbin cover latch to the right and remove the bobbin covers. So there's a little notch here. And it's when I do the little thing here, it pops up that bobbin cover. So I did that. Insert the bobbin into the bobbin case that the thread unwinds to the left. So there's a bobbin in here. I'm going to pop that out. See why you want to lock all your buttons so that just in case when you're in here, the machine doesn't start going or there's issues. I'm going to come from the back here. So, and it wants, just to make sure that I'm doing this right, it wants my thread to come out the left. So I see and it wants to come out this little notch. So we want it like this, down in like this. So how I'm going to put it in is you see your thread here. I'm going to put it down in like this. And the instructions are pretty clear on me. And we're going to put it like this. And we're going to thread it out the plate like this. Alright, so now I can put this back on, right? Here we go. There we go. Our lovely little... And it just cuts it. There you go. It just cut it when I brought it around. So, and I put that back on. Touch to unlock all the keys and buttons. I'm going to touch that one button over underneath the screen to unlock the buttons. There we go. Folks, we're getting close. We are getting close to being able to actually do something. And I had to wind a bobbin. I had to first unlock the machine. I had to wind a bobbin. I had to put the bobbin in. And now we are going to thread the upper thread. In the pictures, I see this kind of thread going, you can see, going out like that. But I don't know if that's the way. So if I have it like this, and maybe someone can help me out here, that's the way the picture shows. The way the... But that's over top. And it looks like it's coming, it wants you to have it come from under. Which, honestly, that's the way it looks. So that's what I'm doing. You guys can help me out if I'm wrong. I've got another spool of thread here that I'm going to see which way this comes off. So interesting. This one comes off going on like this the right way. This one is threaded opposite, which is so interesting. So I'm going with the right way. So I'm going to have to kind of watch that with different threadings. So that goes on like that, just like that. And now we are going to go through all the things. So, okay, threading the upper thread. Turn on the machine. to raise the needle. Press that button a couple times to raise the needle. I've already raised it. Okay, so we're going to lock our screen again. And so that we don't have, you know, things happening. Raise the presser foot. So we raised that foot as we were supposed to. Put the new spool on. It looks right. Slide the spool cap. We did that right here. We're going to follow the numbers and go through to down to here. So I think I can do all that pretty easily. That's pretty self-explanatory. As far as going, you go down the 1, up around the 2. We're going around here, down the 3. Catch it. We're going to catch the 4. Beautiful job with the 4. And now we're down to the 5. So here's where we go into the thread, or into the needle. And you might not be able to see this super well because I've got to be right in there to do it. So let's see how we can do this with having you see as well. Let's see if we can do this. We're going to bring this closer to me. I want to go, 6 goes behind this little thing here. So I want to go behind this little thing here. So I'm there. Perfect. I'm behind that. Hold on, pup. And now, needle bar thread guide tab. I wonder if this is to automatically thread the needle. Let's see. Check the needle and thread are compatible with the needle threader. Yes! So I don't know if they're compatible. I don't know if this thread is compatible, but we're going to try it. Alrighty, so as you can see, pretty much out of the box. We just had to wind the bobbin. We had to put the thread on, and you can run it with this closed or open. But basically, all we had to do, and sorry, my other camera died, but I can now run through it and let you know. All we had to do, we took the machine out of the box, we turned the machine on, plugged it in, turned it on. I pushed that screen, and the first thing it came up with was your language, English or another language. I pressed English. The next thing it came up was a prompt, do you want to set up your LAN? I hit not now because I didn't want to do it at that moment. So then it went in to just the regular screen, which was awesome. And this thing is pausing. It's wanting a second color. And I was just testing to see how this was doing. And so I'm not going to do a second color, but I am curious to see if it cut my thread. And it did cut the thread automatically to go on to a second color. I'm going to take this off the machine. Actually, that other color, there's not much to it. There's just a few little colors. So what I'm going to do is, and I like to do this, I'm going to snip the little threads. I'm going to snip these little threads so it's a little easier. And I am just going to go on to the next color, even though I'm not going to change colors, because I really just want to see the tightness, the tension. So I'm going to hold this, and then, sorry, but I'm going to press with my other finger that I'm filming with. My brain had a brain fart there for a minute. So it's as if we changed colors, even though we did not. Oh, just resting my arm on that bar. Okay, so like I said, we turned on the machine, we touched this screen, came up with the language, and then it came up with if you want to set up the LAN. I didn't at that time. So then what we had to do is we had to wind a bobbin. It did not come with any pre-wound bobbins. There was a bobbin already in the bobbin case. I could have taken that one out and wound it, but I didn't realize it was in there until after the fact. And so, okay, so it cuts the thread automatically instead of stretching it, which is kind of nice. So I just paused. And so I grabbed one of the bobbins out of that little pack that we got that had extra bobbins in it. And we wound. So is it done? Is it done? Are you done? Finished embroidering. Okay. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple things here real quick. And let's go back to embroidery home. Okay to cancel the current okay to cancel the current pattern selection. Yes, we just did pretty much the first pattern that came up. So let me explain something here in a second. So we wound the bobbin, and the winding of the bobbin was super easy. We just set it up there, put it in, set up these really, really easy. It wound very fast, and I wound it from the thread that it came with. And we wound our bobbin. We put our bobbin in. We then threaded the machine with this thread. Now, I went and got this thread. It was interesting because I started out with this thread and I was confused because the machine wanted the thread to come out the bottom like this, not over the top like this. So let me just show you. So this, if I had it set up in the picture, see how this one, it's got the smaller thing there and the bigger thing there. In all the pictures of the book, that's how the spool was in. So in this one, it comes off like this. The one that's in there right now comes off the bottom like this. And that's how the machine likes it, and goes off to the left and threads into the machine. So I was confused because this one, when you put it in like the picture, the thread was coming over the top. And I don't know if it matters, but in all the pictures, my machine, it claims my machine likes it to come off the bottom like that. And so this one, I will just have to make sure I put it in like that. It's probably just a different brand, maybe meant for a different machine. Nikki's talking to you. But anyways, just kind of keep that in mind. I'm not sure how big of a difference that makes, but I had this one that just goes in like the picture. Nikki, enough. Goes in like the picture and comes out the bottom. So I threaded it. I did not use the automatic threader, and that's what this little thing is here, the extra steps. And I did not use that. I just threaded the needle as usual. I threaded it through the needle and out the little footer. And then I put the footer, I kept the footer up, and I put the burp cloth on here with our backing on there. And I hit this button because when I put on the machine, when I put on the embroidery arm, I can't remember if this is forward or if it was back, but when you want to move it back, you push this button here. It wants me to raise the pressure foot. Hold on. And remove the embroidery frame. Okay. It moves it back. And so that allows you to put on or remove the embroidery frame. I just press this in, and then I wiggle this out. So that's how you get it, the arm out. And then you just pull this out. And to engage this to get a green light, I did have to put the pressure foot back down. So I'm just curious to see how the tension is. Oh, wow. That looks perfect. Honestly, that looks even more perfect than the one from the library. It looks just as good on the back. I need to trim the threads, but it looks just as good on the back as it does on the front. That's incredible. Beautiful job, machine. Beautiful job. So when you're putting on this wonderful thing, you just slide it under here. Line up your little screws there. Maybe if I can do it with one hand. Line up those, come on. Can I do it with one hand? Line up the little screws, and then I'm trying to do it with one hand. Press this in, and they just lock in. I straighten this out a bit, and this is how you would do it if you want to, when I first put it in, if you want to make something. And then I'm going to hit this button. What happens when I hit? I'm trying to get this to move back into place. Let me see. I can't remember how I did it. Not that. What did I push to get it back? I want to say it was this, but it wasn't. Was it this? What was it? Oh, maybe I went into this. Hold on. Let me see here. I know it was 2 minutes ago, and I'm trying to remember. Did I go into a thing? Okay, yes. Yep. Okay, so I hit okay. Yep. And then that made it go back. So this makes it disengage like that. And when I want it to re-engage, I just go in and I start making my design. So lovely, lovely. And then I just went into here. I picked, I think, this design. I hit set. I just decided to do it straight in the middle of the hoop, and straight in the middle of the hoop. I didn't want to change anything. embroidery. And then you see the red light is on. My machine's all angry, not ready to do anything. I push down my presser foot. Let me show you in the back what I'm talking about, that presser foot. Ba-ba-bum. All right, so this is the presser foot. That makes the presser foot go up. That makes the presser foot go down. So, and then it was ready to go. I just hit start and it started beautifully. So yeah, so I know, hi. She doesn't like it because the tripod is there. She can't get through. So yeah, so that's it. It worked extremely well. Of course, I will play with adding names, adding designs. I like this design though. I'll probably keep that design, not in orange, of course. I'll use that purple and blue or a purple and pink maybe for a little girl or something. But I love that design. That'll probably be a classic design I use for burp cloths. And it's only 2 colors, which is super nice. And it's a clean design. I like it. But yes, so this is super easy. I will try the automatic threader sometimes because I'm curious on that. But out of the box, this thing is awesome. It came with the perfect tension, which is incredible. It took a little bit of, trying to figure things out, but that's because I just kind of pushed buttons to see rather than going by the book, because I was just, as usual, didn't want to read through the instructions, but I just have to clip strings. I'm extremely excited with this machine. This was an amazing purchase for $899. I think it's incredible. I think it's going to do everything I want, and I haven't even started messing with designs. I haven't even started bringing designs into it via Wi-Fi. So yeah, or you can do a USB, a flash drive. So yeah, this thing's incredible. I'm absolutely loving it. I just can't believe it. I love it. So yeah, that's my review with the PE900. And Nikki says, or Athena says, this was exciting. But yeah, this is, oh, I love it, you guys. I absolutely love it. And I was looking at this. This is just a scrap piece of fabric. And I'm like, what was wrong with this? Why didn't I, whatever. But this is the one from the library. I mean, it's not messy on the back, but I guess it's not messy on the back. But this one just seems so much more tight and so much better. I don't know. I absolutely love this. And so I'm excited. But yeah, you guys, it's the best. And if anybody needs anything embroidered, if you have a baby, if you need anything embroidered, if you want to do anything, yeah, I'm your woman. The burp cloths are my main jam, I think now. And I'm excited this thing goes just as fast as the $10,000 one at the library. And I'm looking at the designs here. I'm going to have a lot of fun with the designs and the fonts. And you guys, it's just been a blast to go through this with you. I know we got a little frustrated with the bobbin. We got a little frustrated with, I don't know, not too bad, but all in all, I love this machine. And it's very user-friendly. I give it a 10 out of 10 so far. I haven't done a ton of projects on it yet. I just did the one. And already, just 10 out of 10 for user-friendly. It's incredible. So thank you all so much for hanging in there with me. And you guys have a great day. Remember, do what you can with what you have wherever you are. And we will see you later for some more videos. I don't know what kind of videos I'm going to be doing lately. I want to do more of just grabbing recipes from the internet. I'm sorry, I'm on like a twisty stool. Grabbing recipes from the internet and just doing them straight off the internet to see what you guys like different little like health bars or homemade granola bars, or just really what goes into them and if they're worth all the craziness that people love. And so we'll see. And now it's time to take the dogs out to POTTY. You don't want to take it too loud because otherwise they will all hop up and go crazy, but it's time to take the dogs out to potty. And so we'll see you later.